everyone, welcome to the sixth podcast of Long Lepas. And in this podcast, I usually talk about my personal concern or my personal interest or anything that bothers my mind, and I just want to talk about it. And there's basically there's that is something that I cannot talk with others, and this podcast is also my kind of way to talk to somebody because I don't have any friends to talk to now, but I know it sounds sad, but it is. So welcome to this podcast. I hope, I don't know, becoming usual thing for me. I'm trying new stuff, so well, I'm always saying that I'm trying new stuff, but in the end of the day, I never tried anything. So I don't know. That's just how it is. I think. I don't know. And for today podcast, I will talk about something that maybe on the lighter side, if I have to say, because in the last podcast, and I mean like kinda all of them, it's kinda something that's heavy stuff, and I don't know. I'm just trying to ease myself. Let's just say that, to not talk about something that depressing all the time, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just running out of ideas, and we will see. I don't know. Okay, for today podcast, I will talk about something that I also cannot talk to anybody, at least in my circle, because that I don't know, maybe I am the only one that's into it, and for some reason nobody, I mean like there's a lot of people that liking this stuff, but at least in my circle there's none beside of me. So that's how it is. And okay, for today's podcast, I will talk about the, I haven't figured out what I want to call it precisely, but the title for now is okay, fine. The title for now is Disappointment in Popular Mangas Endings, and this will be my rant from me towards many mangas title that I will talk. I will give the list to you in a second, but that's, I mean like, it is my opinion, in my own opinion, and I am sorry if it offend anybody. So I'm kinda not sorry about it, because that's just how our world it is. But that's what I'm saying. But before all of that, I mean like, when I wrote this script yesterday, I realized that there's a lot of words that I think I need to mention before. I know. I mean like I mean like, I'm making this podcast for, let's just say, somebody that already knew what my anime and manga is, and but for some reason I keep trying to explain a little bit about many words that maybe not really known besides, I mean like, outside the anime. So for that reason, I mean like, to explain many keywords that may or I will mention in this podcast, I already wrote a small article. Well, yeah, small article in the blogs down below. I mean like, you if you open this podcast, I don't know, from YouTube maybe, just go to my blog post, and there will be some, I mean like, a little explanation about this and about that, and I hope that it will help you, especially the newcomers, to understand a bit what I will say in this podcast. So check that before continuing podcast if you are new to this. But I don't know, I mean like, I will count to three before I'm starting to talk about in this mat talk about this matter. So here it comes. One, two, and three. Back already. I hope that you understand with that sluggish explanation, and for those who's familiar or already know what is anime or mangas, I think that term is already charted for us, so you're not missing out. Okay, let's just jump into it, shall we? First and the most important things that I have to say. Spoiler alert, and this is my warning for you because I will talk about something that maybe you haven't finished reading yet, and all of the title that I will talk about is like like the title said, it is the ending, so it already ends, and here's the list of the manga I will run about. There's Naruto, Bleach, Fairy Tail, and Magi. If you haven't finished those series yet, I hope that I I advise you to finish your series now if you don't want any spoilers. So well, because we know that spoilers sucks, and I don't want to spoil anything or ruin the whole series. No, I'm just saying that. I will say something terrible in the second, but I don't know to. But go finish your series now, and I will continue the or even begin the run. I will talk about the ending, and I will explain to you in a second why, especially ending and everything. There's some keywords that I knew that I have to describe first, but please go finish your series now, and I will continue. Okay, and like I said, this is a run, and it is my personal opinion, and I will not go easy on it because it is something that I cannot. No, I'm just doesn't want to go easy on it, and I think you will understand why in the second, and I don't know, and well, why did I finish it? I forgot what I want to say, but I mean finish your series already, fine, then let's get going. Okay, before I begin my rant, I have to describe or define, give some scope what we will talk about in this podcast, and there are several keywords again, and this is not on the blog post, but this is just on what I want to talk about in this podcast, and first the first keyword is which popular series I will talk about, and I already mentioned that I will talk about Naruto's Bleach, Fairy Tail, and Magi, and I know that Magi seems kind of strange in that group, and the reason why I include Magi in this podcast because it's just I mean like it is just end recently, but maybe 1 or 2 months ago, but I know that it may not be as popular as the other three, but it is still have a huge popularity in the community, and I think that it is. I don't know, but it just and recently I have a feel I have a certain feeling for that, and I just want to talk about it, so that's why I include that. And as usual, I will give more detailed explanation in my point letters. And the second keywords that I have to not add with, I have to mention is manga. Why I choose the manga specifically, not the anime. And the reason is pretty simple if I have to admit, because I because this I why I choose manga in the first place, not an anime, because I read the mangas till the ending and I haven't watched the anime, and that's the reason all of them. I know that seems stupid, but that's just how it is. I don't know. I knew that maybe mangas and anime may have many difference. I don't know. I mean, like I haven't read. I mean, like I haven't watched many mangas and whatsoever. But to be honest, there's a big chance that I will not watch the anime for the manga that I will mention later. But because I don't know. I mean, like it's already painful enough to experience that journey when the series is going to end, but it is still ongoing. I mean, like that's part is real painful for me when I'm reading the manga, and I knew that it will just happen anyway. I mean, like it will happen when I just say I read. I mean, like I watch the anime, because it is a journey that we cannot we cannot get past, because it is, I don't know, it just become, at one point it just becomes so bad that it ruined everything. And I don't know, maybe I don't know if you can understand that, but that's how it is. I mean, like I know I'm not the best at explaining things, but that's my trying, that's me trying stuff. But I mean, I got a little sidetracked by there, but that's why I chose manga, because simply because I haven't I read this I already did read those, but I haven't watched anime, and that's why I don't know if I want to watch anime, but probably not. And and the third acts and the last keyword, why I just to talk about the ending specifically, not to do a full run. I mean, like not a full review for, let's just say, the anime or the manga. Well, the reason is simple, because I noticed that, I don't know why, but somehow all of this mega popular manga have uh, have simply because they have a bad ending, and not bad ending, I mean a disappointing ending. And it's kinda strange that they seems to have this kind of pattern. And I mean, like it just gets bad, and I don't know, it just feel I don't know how I don't know how I thought about this, but it just not it just feels like I mean, like we as the manga readers, we spend a lot of time, especially when the manga is still ongoing. And you know what's ongoing, I don't know, maybe I have to include that in the blog post. I mean, like when the manga is ongoing and we followed this manga for years. I mean, like it is a literally 4 years, because the the four titles that I mentioned is they're literally 4 years, and it all of that come down to something that it is not worth it anymore. And I don't know, that just sucks, right? I mean, like that's, I will talk about this maybe in the, not maybe, I mean, like I hope that I can give you guys that a better explanation in my point in a second. And that's the all the keywords. I hope that I can give you a better image for what I want to talk about in this podcast. So shall we begin? And and the first manga that I will talk about is Naruto. I don't know. I mean, like Naruto is pretty popular. I don't know, and I don't know if this generalizing others, but I think it is. But Naruto might be the one that's become everyone's first anime, let's just say, or first manga. I mean, like, no, maybe I'm pretty sure, but maybe first anime because maybe of for the 90s, not 90s kid, but the kids that born in with 2000 or the late 90s. I'm pretty sure that it will become your first Naruto. Maybe besides Pokemon or Digimon. I don't know. Maybe it will. Because, well, at least in Indonesia, it is pretty popular. I mean, like, it is huge in Indonesia. Well, at least when when they're the when TVs, the television is still pretty popular. I mean, like, as we can see now that we don't use TV anymore. I mean, not anymore. I mean, like, we use television less than before, maybe 5 or maybe 10 years ago. And when there's TVs around, especially in Indonesia, I don't know, maybe in Jakarta and anything, Naruto is the one of the most anime that's played over and over again. And I mean like it is pretty. I don't know. Maybe it is the only one that's being replayed over and over again. Because, and let's just say it's just to give you guys a better maybe understanding. Let's just say that if we watch Naruto today and it is and today's episodes catch up to the recent episodes. I mean, I'm talking about the past, and I'm talking about so we let's just say this we are maybe 5 or 10 years ago, maybe 5 10 years ago, and if you watch today's Naruto's episodes and it is catch up to the recent episodes, I will guarantee you that tomorrow it would the Naruto's will still on, but it will just replay it from the beginning, and that cycle is continue for I don't know for how long, but well, the reason I know this because I remember that I saw the fights between Naruto's team and the Zabuza fights a lot, and that's pretty early in this series, and I'm not going to mention the series name specifically because I don't really remember. I don't know if this the Naruto the first one or the Shippuden series, but I'm not going to. And hey, by the way, I let's just say I if you haven't know that I'm Indonesian but and I am not Japanese, so I'm sorry that if my Japanese pronunciation or let's just say how talk I mean like, how pronounce this name is wrong. I'm sorry for that because I never watched the anime, and for someone who reads the Naruto, I never heard heard many of these words being talked a lot. So this is just my impre- it- this is just my imagination. I think I don't know. I don't remember the right words, but I knew you will get that. Okay, fine. Anyway, I know that Naruto the manga is already end years ago. I don't remember how long it's already ending, but I don't know. I mean, like, and know I followed the series for so long, and catch up to it, and I finished it the same time when the scanlation, let's just say, comes. When I mean, like, I finished that manga at the same time when the series and oh yes, I am fair. I'm debt free and doesn't have anything better to do. But let's just say, I mean, like, if I want to read Naruto's again, I can do it easily now, and maybe even what if will I will just end it pretty quickly because manga is easy to catch up, and so that doesn't really matter. And okay, fine. Back to the Naruto and why I hate the ending so much. That here's the thing. I'm not going to talk. I, I will just pretend that all of you know. Already know how the story goes because you still know it obviously. And even if you are not, you are new to manga this thing. I am sorry that I cannot give you the summary of how the story goes and whatsoever. I mean, like, it is a long series, and to be honest, it will not fit in this podcast because it will be way too long, and I just want to get to the great parts. Not really great, but the ending parts. Okay, I have to say this. My, let's just say, hatred for Naruto's ending is really specific because I don't know if you watch or read the last arc of the story. I mean, like, not even the last arc. I mean, like, the nearing the end of the series. They're I remember if I remember correctly, they're talking about the origin story of the, let's just say, the how the ninjas world begin or any kind of bullshit. I mean, like, they're in the end of the day they're talking about the origin story, and I knew that. I don't know if I remember correctly, but I knew that they were talking about Asura and Indra and what is their connection with the, let's just say, younger generation. And I don't know, I don't even know that if they are both of them come back to life or somehow exist in this world. But I do know that, I don't know, maybe the Uchiha's clan, and I don't know the others family's name, but I knew that they they have, not that they have, I mean, like, it is said that that's two family is the direct descent from the Indra and Asura. And I don't know how who it is. I mean, like, the exact who is what or whatever, but that's how the story goes. I mean, like, it is they're trying to bring up this origin story and stuff. And there is one character named Kaguya who is said to be the mother of all of ninja because of her that there's the ninjas exist, there's chakras and anything. I mean, like, if there's not Kaguya, there will be not there will not be. I mean, like, how the hell that I am talking? That's so. What I'm trying to say is, if there's not Kaguya, there will be no Naruto will not be exist, and that's what I want to say. And I don't know. I don't remember how sis bring up sis become this being. I mean, like, for some reason sis bring back. I don't know if sis just exists or just came through for what portal or what thing. I mean, like, I don't know if sis being summoned or revived or anything. And all I know, the Kaguya is there, and that's become the final villain for Naruto and his gang. And I just don't get it. Why that the author have to bring up, not to, I mean, like, not to bring up, but have to create to make this Kaguya the final villain for the Naruto. And I don't know, because I knew that, I mean, like, before this final fights, let's just say, Naruto and his friends, that sounds weird for some reason, because I don't know, that just sounds doesn't right. I mean, like, Naruto's already fought a lot of villain, and I don't know, there's wars going on if I remember, and they have to first fight Obito, and then Obito become friend with them, and then they have to fight Madara, and I don't know, I remember the Madara even got power up, and I mean like it is sometimes it I don't know how that it will become a crossover between Dragon Balls and Madara, but for some reason Madara's that we seen got a form, new form. It's kind of like he's not fusion, but maybe goes to Super Saiyan or something. He gets a new form, and always it is just not one. If let's just say that Naruto's beat up or his one form one, he will go to Super Saiyan, and Naruto will beat him up, and then he will just got another form, and all of that, after all of that, then somehow Kagura exists. I mean, I'm not sorry, I'm not Kagura. What the hell? Kaguya exists, and there he's the final boss, and that just seems too much for me because I mean, like, I knew that Kaguya is such a big thing. I just say such an important figure in in this ninja's world, but I just don't get it why the authors needs to bring her in and make her evil or and something, and I don't know why that Naruto has to fight her. I don't know if it's to, let's just say, it's to prove that Naruto is stronger than her, or I don't know. I just that's to be honest, that's the only reason why I hate Naruto's ending so much. I mean, like, I knew that Naruto's gets a great ending. I mean, like, all of these manga that I will mention have a good ending, but I kind of feel like, yes, I don't know, but the way that it is bring up, and the way the maybe more especially the last fight seems kind of pointless to me, and that's the pattern that I seen a lot, and I don't know, for Naruto's case, that's the only one that's I just hate it so much, and I don't know. I mean, like, all of these mangas that I will talk about, they have a great run. Let's just say I knew that at least for the mangas they have a great run, and they have a strong, even a strong period of time, a strong run, and just to end them like that, it's just too much for me, and I don't know. I mean, like, wait a second. I mean, especially in Naruto, not. I mean, like, he fights a lot, not only Obito, Madara, and maybe Kaguya. They in this last arc they introduce a lot of characters, and Naruto have to fight all of them, and I don't know. And the worst part is Kaguya's. I mean, like, I don't remember when is Kaguya is first introduced, and maybe it's really early. I don't remember, but it's bring up again. Real. May I don't know the exact, but it is really nearing the ending, and for me, if let's just say if that's the first time that she is being introduced and somehow she become the main villain, I just don't know it. Why that you needs to introduce someone's and new nearing that near to ending, and have them have Naruto's fight her, and I mean, like, let's just say, because I mean, like, in Naruto's, let's just say, one chapter, or let's just say one chapter, there's not much pages, and that's mean that it will not bring the fights to the maximum capabilities. I mean, like, I don't remember. I mean, like, it will just be a, if not bad. I mean, like, if that the fight is not bad, I mean, like, it will just So why do you even bother? Why not just, let's just say, make one or two and focus on that and show us the journey, why the why I mean, like, how the Naruto will win, and that's what's matter, right? And I just remember that one thing that regulates, let's just say, in the anime and mangas community, and it is, I will not, I knew that I'm not the best at saying that, but I'm just trying, okay? I mean, like, we all know that, especially in this shonen type of manga or anime, we will know that we always knew that the hero or the protagonist will always win. But the one thing that we will want to know and what we care about is the journey, how they fight, how they will win, and that's what's matter. And I do, I do agree with that because shonen is such, let's just say, it's not generic, but it is a pretty popular manga genre, and there's a lot of great manga. Let's just say, well, it is good. So that's, I mean, like, we will have always have that overpowered or OP hero, and he will always win. But what's make them different from each other is their journey, and that's what we love. And I cannot seem to agree. I mean, like, I agree with that. And I don't know, yeah, how I'm stuttering for some reason, but I know because I haven't had shower, but that's just early mixes only. And I mean, like, that's one thing that one that's the only thing that's bother me, why Naruto have to end like that, because I knew that Naruto actually pretty decent till nearing the ending, but that one little last take just made it worse for me. And that's all about it, and that's all that I can talk about Naruto, because I still recommend to you to read, at least to read the mangas, because I don't know, maybe there's, I don't know, maybe this only in anime there's fillers that doesn't make sense, because I don't really remember saying that. And in the mangas, wait, I don't know, I still recommend you to read Naruto's mangas, because it's still pretty good. So check it out for you, check it out for on your own. So let's just talk about another one, shall we? Okay, the second one that I will talk about is Bleach. It is already end, maybe also 1 or 2 years ago. I don't remember, but it's it's end after Naruto, but I don't remember how long. It's end, but you know, mm, that's about it. I don't know, but this one is kind of tricky to talk about. Why? Because we all know that the author of Bleach, I don't remember his name, but I'm like the when he's writing the ending, we all know that he's being rushed by the company and to finish the series, and we all can see the result of that rushing to his writing at the mangas, because I don't remember when the author starts being rushed by the company, but I do believe that it is nearing the end of this series, and that's pretty crucial if you ask me, because just imagine this. I mean, like, you are writing something. I mean, like, obviously as a writer you have a vision how this thing should go, how how the story, let's just say, how you want to end the stories. And especially if you have already write about this for years, you have clear vision. At least you have to have a clear vision. And imagine if you have all of that, but in the middle of that, you are being rushed by someone. And I mean, like being rushed. Let's just say that the author of Bleach want to, let's just say, for the ending or for the last fight, he will needs 10 chapters, let's just say. But he's just given five by the company, and that's being rushed. And can you imagine how much I will lose? I mean, like from 10 to the 10 chapters plan, you have to shorten it to just 5, and that's mean that there's a lot of things that will be lost in the actual mangas. I mean, like that's not the I don't I mean like that's not the exact number, but I don't know how this rusting, how it goes. And I don't know, I'm just trying to give you better understanding about it. I don't know, that's about it, because all of us that read Bleach can see why. I mean, like we can see that at this point, at some point, it is suddenly changed, and the stories just turn awful. And that's, I believe that that's where we knew that the art of the village is being lost. And you know what? In the end of the day, we don't even see Ichigo's Bankai. And I mean, like we see how his new swords looks. I don't know if they're I mean, like I don't know the name of the sword. Maybe not got yet changed, but I don't remember. But I mean, like for I'm talking about this specifically from the last fight, at least at the journey of the last fights, because we already said this, that every Sonian main protagonist is OP as hell. And we see that how they, especially in Ichigo's case, he struggled a lot defeating the last villain, Juhabach. Bah, I don't know his name, how to speak, to talk, to pronounce his name, but let's just suggest Juhabach. This sounds awful, but I mean, like we saw his struggle in this last arc, and how Juhabach is even more OP than Bleach. I'm not Bleach, but I mean, like Ichigo's and the other, but for some reason Ichigo's can beat him in one attack. And I don't even know how that exists, and then I don't even know how that's happened. And that's all of it. All this tension, all this builds ups just end in one slash. And I mean, like we all know how plot armor works, but for me, and maybe most of the I mean, like the community, believe that that's not plot armor anymore. That's just plain bad writing. And that sucks so bad. Let's just say we don't even see his. It's even just a regular slash. And I mean, like you all know how. I mean, like there was always that scene in every samurai team or swordman team. Anything, there will always that's one fight that's depends on one slash, when the two opponents just somehow run to each other and slash just give a full strike at each other. That, and to see, I mean, like to see that happen in Bleach, it's, I mean, like it's not even good. And we don't even see, I don't know, I don't remember if there's a run up to it or anything, but it just end on one regular slash, not a special power, or I don't remember the name, but or skills or what, just a regular the slash. And that sucks. And I don't know, I mean, like to be honest, Bleach is not my favorite thing in the first place, but I mean like there's period of time that I put it on and for a long time and just pick it up again for to finish it. And I don't know, for some reason Bleach kinda seems kinda too slow for me, and that's about it. I mean like there's also one thing that's bothered me a lot, and how I should say this, I mean like let's just say it's the mechanism of the swords. I know that the name is Sanpakuto. If I know, oh, that's oh, I'm sorry. I will stick to the sword. I mean like the Shinigami. I don't really remember what is what is Ichigo's. I mean like the black cloth. That if it is it Shinigami or what. I mean I knew that the sword type is called Zanpakuto, if I'm not remembering. That's not really ever heard, and I'm sorry, and that's what. And and I don't know. There's one mechanism that's kinda explained, or let's just say made up in maybe the last one, or maybe in the last arcs, where I don't know if all, but maybe let's just say for some characters, that's include Ichigo. They they the sword that they're using is somehow is not their true form. I mean like the I don't know. I mean like let's the sword that we see in the last arc and the first arc is different, because supposedly the sword in the last arc is the true form of the Ichigo's sword, and it means that I don't know it if I'm remember correctly, it's kind of like Ichigo already know finally know the true name of the sword, and that's why it's I just it changed to its true form, but it's confusing. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to my best to explain it, but that's all I can say. And what I'm trying to say is we see the source that we see in the last fight is Ichigo's true source. Like I say that it is true from basically. I mean like it means that it already changed form. That's it, and we see that the new sword. Ichigo has two swords in the last fights. I mean the last part, and one of them is white, and I have to say we don't really see how he used it and anything, but for some reason in the last literally the last scene nearing the end part, the white swords kind of changed. It turns out that the white things that that's that we thought it is the sort it started as just a shell, and you know what, it reveals the old form of the Ichigo sword, and I just don't get it at this point. I mean like at that let's just search for it. I mean like just search for that scene, and no, I mean like I just don't get it. Why for something that already changed, already achieved a true form, somehow got back into the old one, and I just don't get it. I mean like you want to say that Ichigo's true form of sword is just a casing, and when I don't get, you know how I started. There is something that I cannot comprehend. Let's just say I cannot understand all this point, and I mean like the white sword is the new sword. Like I mean like it already changed, right? And why that it changed back, and it is mean that Ichigos are already have the true form sword from the beginning. And I mean like that's why did he bother to change to the white sword anyway if it will just get changed back. But I knew that, I mean like we all know that there's something called plot holes in this, in mangas things. I mean like, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure that plot holes seems kind of have a place in Bleach. And there's many, I don't know, maybe there's many plot holes in Bleach, and maybe this one of them. And I don't get it why that it is for some reason happen in the last minute of the series. But that's, I don't know, maybe because he's being rushed and we just don't get a chance why this, I don't know, maybe he doesn't get a chance to explain this thing. And that just sucks. I mean like, so I mean like, to summarize for the Bleach, why I disappointed in the ending so much is, first, how the hell that he can beat Juhabak just in one slash and in the last minute. And second, how the logic of the sword mechanism works in the end. And I don't know, at the moment when I read the Bleach ending, for sure I thought this is the easily becomes the biggest disappointment in manga so far. And guess what, I'm wrong. And that's a great transition on it. I mean like, let's just talk about the third sorts mangas that, my god, takes the cake for the worst and the most disappointing things in this world. And that is Fairy Tail. And you know what, I have to say that I'm kinda sad that Fairy Tail is in this list, because it forced, in the past it becomes one of my favorite. And if I have to choose between Naruto's Bleach, One Piece, or Fairy Tail, I will choose Fairy Tail easily. And it's just sad how to see that it's come to an end like this. And my my god, the journey to reach this ending is so painful that all of us, I mean like all of the community of the loyal readers for Fairy Tail, just wish it is just end already, because that's what we do. I mean like, that's what we do as the manga readers. We already followed this series for years, and we should we must see how it ends, because we start something, we also have to finish that. And that's the whole logic on that. And my god, you know what, my love from Fairy Tail used to be so much that I love Urza Scarlet so much that it is to the point that if one day I want to, that's me talking, I mean like in the past me talking, if one day I want to dye my hair, I want to dye it on like the, to mimic the Elsa's color hair. And she have a great, oh, I don't know, she just have her red hair, and I just love her so much. But my god, how these stories and this kill it so bad. And let's just start with describing how bad it is actually be. But you know what, I'm not excited for this, but I'm just trying to end it. And that's just how it is. And let's begin. I mean like, you know what, I'm not even bothered to begin to explain the last arc, because I mean like, for a long series like Naruto's Bleach and Fairy Tail and maybe One Piece, there are always a pattern that being used for every arc. And we always know that's how the stories will go. And we not notice, I mean like, we knew these patterns so much that it's just, I don't know, just become so used to it, and we all know that. I mean, like before, even before, let's just say when the new arc is being introduced, we already know that how the stories will goes because there's already a pattern for it, and that's just how it is. And maybe for some mangas, it is not a bad thing because it is maybe easier for the author to write the stories and maybe for us to know what to expect. But what make this move the make this move like feel feel awful? I mean, like what's making this move feel strong is that I don't know, maybe begin because it being used too much, and and I don't know, maybe because it is being used too much till at the point that it's become this kind of bullshit that even us the loyal readers cannot handle anymore. And let's just say that for Naruto, I mean, like for Fairy Tail case, let's just say the new arc is introduced in Fairy Tail, and we already know that there will be a set of new characters, new not just new skill and new film. That story is the most basic, if I have to say, in every shonen arc. And for for fairy tales, it's not. It also followed the same road, and let's just say we already know how all of the fights will end. First, not to the main characters or the protagonist of the fairy tale, he will lose in the first place. He will lose first, then for somehow he can win the fights with the nakama power, and that's how the whole story begins. I mean, that's how the whole story goes, and it always been like that. And that pattern it's become too much for for us, and it's become bullshit. And I don't know. I mean, like maybe because in this last arc, there's there's a lot of fights going on, and not to have to face a lot of villains, and with that pattern being used and used over and over, it just become too much. And what's the point of we read it then? I mean, like we already know that he will won, and we already know how will he won, and that's about it. And the worst part is, I don't know, maybe that's the worst part. And what make it worse that the writing doesn't get any more creative than that. And I don't know, it's kind of feel like the authors just kind of give up, and I don't know, maybe he's just maybe he also want this series to end. And I mean, like I don't know if this series the I mean, like, sorry, I mean, like I knew that this series is not get rushed. It all needs it gets all of the time that he needs. But for some reason, I don't know how the hell that it happened, but Fairy Tail's endings makes Bleach ending looks good. Yeah, I mean, like that's just how bad it is. And my God, there is so many things that wrong in the last fight. Okay, one of the biggest problem maybe for this large arc specifically, it is just how I don't know. I mean, like for us, we just cannot believe how the author cannot kill any of his characters, and that's mean. And here's the thing: it is the last arc. They face the fairy tale. It is a guild, and the fairy tales needs to fairy tales members have to fight a country. They are at a war, and they face a lot of more powerful villains than them. And Here's the thing, they seems like they're being killed at this point. I mean, like they receive a lot of fatals punch or whatever, the fatal punch or attacks from the villain, and then the chapter end and at that when they're this seems like they're killed. And in the next chapter, we see that they're being fine. They're alive and they're kicking and they just seems like to. It's not that they're avoided, but it is just somehow they're being kind of being revived in some way. I mean, like, why do you even bother to to make all that? They look like being killed in the first place. Why do you even makes the poison then? And that's just stupid, you know. I mean like I know this character that seems like being killed, then for some reason on the next chapter, either in the next chapter or maybe the first or second page, they are being alive, they're being brought back to life, they receive so much love from us, the audience. But this whole thing is just bullshit. I don't know if even if kids like this. The thing that the hero cannot die. I don't know. And the worst part is, let's just say, this happened. All of this happened in just such a little time span. And I don't know. Maybe you're not agreeing with or not understanding with why this is such a bad thing. Picture this: you're in the middle of the fights with somebody that's way more powerful than you. Then at one point, he shot beams that shoot through your heart. Yeah, you're dead, right? Oh, guess what? You are alive, cause somebody can shrink the hole in your heart from the last attack. Did you get that logic? How the hell that a hole in the heart? How even can a human survive a hole in the heart? That's the logic, and maybe okay, fine. That's maybe the one of the worst case in this whole mess. But I don't know. I knew that from the reviews or the discussion that I read online. I knew that everyone pissed about this, and we just don't get it. And I don't know. Maybe all of us is just feel like it is enough that we just don't get this whole nobody dies bullshit thing, and it just become too much for us. And that's the one thing, the one main thing, if I were to say, because I don't know what's wrong with the author of the one fairy tale, but that's just how it goes. But okay, maybe we will talk about how another problem, maybe what's make this thing whole seems worse. We all know that in shonen especially, there is this kind of sudden power enhancement, or some, let's just say that the right now you are being pushed so hard. Not by push, you're losing so hard, and then for some reason from in the next 5 minutes, let's just say you gain new power. There's no logic on there, but that's how sometimes how things work in shonen. And that's also happen in Naruto. And I don't know, Natsu. We know that Natsu is a dragonborn. Not dragonborn, but he's a dragon. What, I don't even remember what's that called. What I'm about to say that in the last arc we knew that he kinda have a new identity. It turns out that Natsu is the brother of the Zeref. I don't know if he's the main villain, but I'm pretty sure he is. But his Seraph is the demon lord, or the god of demon. I don't know. It's not his. The Natsu is the little brother. So that makes that Natsu is not only a dragon, but he's also a demon. There's demon seeds and dragon seeds, like if I remember correctly. And from from that, I mean, like the demon seed. That's in Natsu. We just know that he's in. I mean, like he's just. We just know that I mentioned it on the last arc, and it's pretty new. So it means that with the demon seed inside him, he gets a new power that's, for good sake, not mentioned in the last. I mean, like, how the hell that we never knew? I mean, like, how the hell that he never knew that it is on him, for good sake. How many years it is has been? I mean, like, I don't know. That's new. I mean, like, in the end of the day, Natsu gets a new power, and I mean, that's a bullshit, but nobody give any shits about that anymore, because it is maybe become too common in shonen and fairy tale in general, and so we just kind of accept it and go on. We just say that, and that's one thing. I mean, like, being OP and everything, or other enhancement, is really common in shonen and fairy tale. But there, I mean, like, there's maybe a few characters that that describe as an OP character right in the very beginning, like Urza, that one that I really love in the first place. And we all know that how strong she is and how she can win with all odds against her. But in this last arc, we found that, I mean, I feel like this is just a bullshit, another bullshit. And I mean, like, she fights a lot. I mean, like, she fights a lot of people and how hero she was, but it seems like everybody just hating on her, and I'm also one of them. And the fact that I cannot even enjoy Urza's fights, which mean that, I mean, like, she's already established as an OP character, but everyone just doesn't buy that anymore. And maybe because if everybody is OP, so what's the point? What's it the makes Urza, or I mean, like, Urza different from the other? If and maybe that's just how bad it is. I mean, like, this OP thing is maybe real broken in fairy tale, and that's just sad. That's, I mean, like, I don't know that there's also a lot of plot going on between around Urza, but and they're trying to explain how she become, or just to justify it, why she's such a strong characters, but nobody gives a shit anymore about that. So my god, I don't know. And you know what, there's a lot of problems in this in this arc, that in this ending, that's all of us just hope that's one thing, that's the author doesn't screw up. But guess what, he did. And that's thing is how all of us, the readers, just hope that the author doesn't mess up of about the Acnologia's character. And I mean, like, Acnologia is not really mentioned a lot, and but we all know that he's such a awesome character. I mean, like, he's such a terrifying villain, and not even villain at the point. I mean, like, he just come once and twice, but he managed to give a such a damage. And I mean, like, he's such a awesome character, and we just all of us just wish that he will we even wish that he will beat up Natsu and his all of his, but we all know that he doesn't will it will not happen. And the last thing that we hope is that he will got a decent fights, but you know, he got beat up by the most stupid things in the world called the Nakama power. And my god, that's just painful. And my, you know what, just read it on yourself, and you know that I'm pretty sure that it will just you will know how painful it is. But I don't know, I mean, like, I'm I don't know how I feel, but I mean, like, I feel, to be honest, I feel real bad to recommending this this not of just reference. I mean, like, all of the mangas that I will that I will talk about. And I just feel bad because I knew that the ending is not worth it, and I don't want you to waste a lot of time just to got a false hope. But because you know the ending is not worth it and it's so fucking bad, and just don't do it. But you know, I mean, like, if you want to know what this feeling that I'm talking about, and how bad, you wonder to yourself how bad a story can get, just go read it. And for God's sake, read from the beginning, from the very first chapters of the mangas, because it is a whole experience that you need to go through just to feel that disappointment in the end. But I don't know, maybe I just want you to suffer the pain I have to go through. So enough of that fairy tales bullshit, and I will just talk about Maggie, the last thing that I will talk about this podcast. Like I said, Maggie seems kind of like a toss up in this whole group, but you know, I mean, like, it is popular and it does end. And you know what? I I mean, I read it recently, and I already forgotten about it. And I read the last three arc, just not three arc. I mean, like, that's a lot. Just three chapters to remind me how it ends, and it's kinda meh for me, if I have to say. But I don't know. I mean, like, the fact that I forgot about the ending, it means it. First, it can mean two things. First, the ending is just okay, or second, it is bad. It's a bad ending, but hey, it's not as bad as the other three. And you know what? I think that it is, for me, it is the latter one. And let's just say, okay, from here on, it will be my own opinion, because I believe that, I don't know. When I search for the discussion in my anime list about the ending specifically, most of the response that I see were just like meh, and I don't know. I mean, like, maybe some of them, maybe some people love it and kinda okay with the ending, but I don't know. For me, I mean, like, I will just say this in the front that I feels like Maggie endings feel like rush, but I don't believe it is. So I just don't get, I just don't get it why that happened, and what is the situation with the author and the publisher. And I don't know how the well I will talk about this, but this is how I feel. I mean, I feel like it's really rushed. And because here's the thing, in the last arc, we kind of get a whole new, a big development that's totally different from the last arcs. And I mean, like, we got this new kind of world system, and the Geno weapon system is gone. It's kind of gone. I mean, like, we don't really see that Gen system in this. I mean, like, we don't see them so too much in this arc, which is such which is a shame because I believe that the gene equips and all of the gene weapons, it's kind of the trademark of the monkey. And I don't know, I mean, like, we just got a new world setting, and the plot's kind of taken off and changed a lot. And I mean, like, I don't know, I feel like it happened quite a few times in this, especially in this last arc, and it feels like we are being hit with protests one after another. And I don't know, it just for us to achieve this kind of change in just a short period of time is, it seems that there will be not enough time to describe more or to tell more stories within this. And I don't know, I just found the last chapter, or maybe the last 2 or 3 chapters, is kind of weird, and I kind of seem to enjoy it. But I mean, like, I never really liked Maggie in the first place. I mean, like, maybe the scanlation that I read is not great, because I found that Maggie has a lot of dialogue, and the matter that they bring up is kinda too heavy for me. I mean, like, I read manga to have fun, not to. I mean, like, I read manga to have fun or to just enjoy my time, and to read something such as, like, just says liberalism, capitalism, and other things, and that's kind of subject is pretty heavy for manga, if I have to say. And it's kind of really raw, if I have to say that. I mean, like, it is being dressed up as a dialogues and other things. I mean, like, it bring up by the characters, but it is still pretty raw standpoint, if I have to say. And that seems to be a little bit too much for me, for my liking. And I don't know, I just don't really like it. But here's the thing, though. I talk about the liberalism, that capitalism. I don't remember communism. I don't remember that which which point that Maggie brought. But it is in the first or second season. That's kind of stuff is really works in Maggie, and it's make this this series seems really unique, because they bring up such a big theory or big point. And that's real, seems real fun at the first place. But in the later and nearing the end, or maybe the last arcs, it doesn't have the same feeling. And I don't know, it just felt really sluggish. I don't know, I don't remember correct, because I put this series down for quite a long time, and I just picked it up because I noticed that it is already ending, and that's why I finishing it. And that's why I don't really like Smaggy that much. I don't know. And there's also one thing that we all know, that I mean, like, in every story there will be always two classes, that two mindset that clash. And especially, I mean, like, especially it's usually between the protagonist and antagonist. And I mean, like, how the way of their view this world, and how I mean, like, it will always be clash, who is right and who is wrong. And that's kinda how a story goes. And I don't know, in the last arcs, I don't know, the Alibaba is the main protagonist, if I have to say, kinda showed us his own way of thinking, let's just say. And he just came up with a third option. That's that's his new, I have to say. And you know what, for first the first time that he did it, it sounds cool, right? I mean, like, he's just trying to break that the usual things that always happen in stories, how story goes. I don't know, it happens maybe one or twice, but I just found that Alibaba is annoying as hell as a character. I mean, like, the whole that I I don't agree with. He said I don't agree with you. I do believe that there's a third option. This kind of side of him, I don't really like that, and just annoying. And you know what? Because he's the protagonist, and supposedly how the progress for every character just followed him because they knew that he knew the best and everything. This bullshit. In the end of the day, everyone just followed his rule and not his rule. I mean his word, and that's how the story goes. And that's dumb. And I don't know. I just find that Maggie's ending is really anticlimactic. They have to say. I don't know. I just felt like I don't know maybe because that one move from Alibaba that's kind of ruined everything. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I just don't love this series too much in the first place, and I'm not fond with it, and I'm just not satisfied to how it's and you know what I don't know because I didn't say that it felt real rush because Maggie have lots of cool characters and in the end of the day we doesn't see them a lot and we don't see them do stuff or their region equip or anything and I don't know the last arc or the last few chapters is just resolved in this small circle and we just solve the all over again and maybe we want to know I don't know maybe because the side characters are much cooler than them and we just said that we just will said that we doesn't get chance to see them and that's about it. I mean like I don't know, and I don't know. I still haven't found any reason why I'm making ending so soon because I felt like it's supposed to be ending that soon, and maybe it could have a few more chapters or even a few more arcs, and I don't know. Maybe that's just how the way the author wants to, and we never know, are we? Okay, that's all from me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, like, I knew that in most of my rant, I'm just picking up the little things, but that's my own opinion, and that's little things is the one that bug me a lot, and I don't know, just makes makes this ending feels really disappointing. And I don't know, feel free to comment below what you think. Do you agree with me or anything? Or maybe you guys have any suggestion on what should I do or what should I read or just what you want me to do and in the comment below. I don't know, maybe I will consider it and to be honest, I'm kinda running low on materials but that's another day so yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.